And
Uncle Abie, and he was only 15, so he went up. He went up to the War Office, and they wouldn't take him because he was only 15 and he was a little man. So they said, "Go away." He said, "Come back." So apparently he went back and he bought himself a flat cap, and he bought himself a white clay pipe, and he let his hair grow down so they wouldn't. And he went back again, and they took him, but they didn't take him into. This is as he tells me this story. They wouldn't take him into the proper army. So they gave him a job because in the Boer War, horses were more important than men.
That's true. Yes. Daddy was in the artillery. Yeah.
That's right. And he was sent in a boat taking the remounts, as he called them, because the horses got killed. Yeah. Never mind about the soldiers getting killed. The horses got killed and they had to send remounts out.
Another horse?
Another horse out for the soldiers.
Right.
Never mind about the men being killed, the soldiers...
When the men were killed, they just passed their gun back.
He was on a boat with these remounts. And they took him to South Africa, and the ship was wrecked off the coast of... I think it must have been... he never told us the name of the island, but it must have been Madagascar. In my mind, I imagine that's where it was. And he swam with this remount and got ashore at this island, which I believe was Madagascar.
And the horses?
And he got his horse there, because if he didn't go with his... He wasn't worth a light. His horse was more important.
Yeah. Right.
And from there, he was taken to South Africa. And that was the war in those days, and that's what Uncle Abie told us.
That's the Boer War.
No,
that's the Boer War, yes.
And is it Uncle Abie who had the Grace and Favour house?
That's right. And the way he died was that he lived in this Grace and Favour house in Kennington.
Oh, well, I went to see him there.
It was a sweet shop.
It was
That's it.
He sold the sweet shop.
But you're right. It was above the sweet shop.
No, but then they moved him. Because Kennington, that's right, because Kennington belonged to the Crown.
And that's so he lived in the Grace and
Favour. And that's why they gave him this little Grace and Favour house. Okay. And the way he died, he was younger than I was, but to us he was very old. And he was, I don't know how old, and he had cataracts in both eyes. And cataracts in those days...
You couldn't do anything about it.
...was you went into the hospital and he decided that he was going into the hospital to give everybody a surprise, because he was blind, virtually blind, with his cataracts. And he went into the hospital to have these cataracts done, and the operation was too much. And that's the way he died, from cataracts, because he'd left it. And he didn't tell anybody he was going to have these cataracts done. He wanted everybody to come round.
And then he could see them.
He could see them, and he could tell that he could see them.
His wife, I remember as being very, very
She
stout.
was a very big, busty lady.
And I can remember going there, and every single week she had lots and lots of cut glass.
Yes.
And every week she'd take all this cut glass and she would clean it, and it would go back to where it was before. But that isn't what I was going to tell you.
No,
in the garden, let me tell you. In the garden, he had a copy of a statue called the Three Graces, and it was exactly the size of the real statue, with three like nude women entwined. It was absolutely gorgeous.
He was a little man. He was a little man.
Yeah.
And every Monday night...
So the naughty bit, didn't he have girlfriends?
Wait a minute. Yeah. I want to tell you about Auntie Millie first of all, and you wouldn't remember, but in those days it was fashionable for women to wear white crocheted jumpers with low necks. Not because they were sexy, but they were low necks, they were made. And she had these great, you wouldn't notice, no thank you. She was huge on top.
Oh yeah, I'll have one of those, Judith. They're my favourite, aren't they? Mummy.
She was huge on top, no thank you.
Let's offer one to Judith.
And she used to tear above him. You know those cartoons? What are the cartoons? Those naughty seaside cartoons?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Postcards.
Yes, and he could tell under her
bosoms.
Bosoms.
Oh, lovely.
She was like that. But anyway, every Monday night at Barney and Clara's, your parents never used to go, but they used to play cards. Everybody used to go in this little house in Stepney Green.
Every Monday.
Yes, that's right.
You know.
And you all used to go round there because there were always youngsters and oldsters round there. And everybody used to wander in, the whole street and the whole family. And Uncle Abie used to arrive half through the sessions, and I say half through the sessions was 9:30, 10 o'clock in a taxi with a bunch of flowers and a box of chocolate and lipstick marks all over his little bald head.
I'll tell you about Dad. He went to an office where this
Hello?
woman came in.
Your dad.
Yeah. Okay.